So I'm going to read a little bit off of Tiffany's website. So if it hasn't been updated, it's on her to fill in the blanks. But Tiffany currently lives in New York. She's a freelance violinist. She's a teacher, which is how I originally actually met her. She was teaching the Pardes schools. I don't remember what their group was called, but it was their violinists and strings, and they played for us at one of our lunches. She is originally from Prescott, Arizona, and she's actually there currently, and she can speak about that if she'd like, or go straight into music. She graduated summa cum laude from Arizona State University, Bachelor of Music, minor in dance, and a Master of Music, studying under the tutelage of Professor Danwen Zhang. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. She was a concert master of the Prescott Pop Symphony Orchestra, traveled to Europe to participate in music festivals, and she is very generous of her time and her talents, and she's going to play some beautiful songs for us today, possibly even take suggestions later. So just look out for that option in the chat. But I'm going to pass the mic and the spotlight to Tiffany, and thank you so much for doing this for us today.
Thanks for having me. Oh, I'm spotlighted. This is so much pressure. Okay. I think you kind of said everything. I'm in my parents' home right now where I grew up, so it's really nice to be back. It's gonna be really hard going back to New York after living back at home. It's so nice to be here. I was trying to figure out what I should play for you guys. I didn't know if I should stick to more Jewish things or if I should go modern. And so Rabbi and I came up with, I guess, a mix of both. He picked all of the Jewish suggestions, and then I figured if you guys want, you can put anything in the chat if you think of a song. I apologize if I don't know how to play it, but I do have this is my computer, so I can look it up really fast and then try and ad lib it for you. Rabbi Levi, is there anything else you want me to say? Sorry, I hate public speaking.
No, you're good. You're good. That was perfect.
Okay. Should I start playing?
Yeah, floor is yours. You get.
Okay. What would you like me to play first?
You get. Just choose whatever talks to you.
Okay.
Isn't music the pen of the soul?
I'm going to play Yerushalayim Shel Zahav first because I remember the first time I heard this, I had to play it for a wedding early in college, and I just thought it was so beautiful, and I'm so glad you reminded me of this piece because I love playing it. Can you guys hear me okay? Just give a thumbs up if it's...
Yeah, we hear you well. It's loud. Okay. The one thing you're gonna miss is you're not gonna hear the clapping. You'll have to look at the
It's okay. So did you want to like go back and forth? You want me to just kind of plow through them or
freestyle it.
huh?
Freestyle it.
Okay. So I guess let me see if I can expand this, if I can see all of you at once. Then maybe we can do like a thumbs up, thumbs down type.
Yeah, you could hit the gallery view on yours.
Perfect. Oh, I love that. Okay. Oh, there's so many faces. Yay. So I could play something more classical next, or I could do something more modern, like maybe a cover of like for example, like a Beatles song or something. Thumbs up for something classical. Now thumbs up for something more modern. Rabbi, were you counting? Because I wasn't counting.
I will tell you that I think people were cheating. They put their thumbs up for both.
Okay. I'll do something classical first, and then I'll do something modern. I'll do a little bit of both. Okay. So, I don't need music for this. This piece is called Meditation. It's actually my mom's favorite piece for me to play. She's around here somewhere. I'm sure she's probably listening outside the door. Or she might come in here when she hears it, because it is literally her favorite piece. Judy says, "You choose. We are happy with anything you play." Oh, thank you. All right. Well, I like to please my audience. So this is called Meditation. It's from Thais. I believe it's an opera, and I've never seen it. It's just a very beautiful piece that's played a lot at weddings and things like that. I think I've played it at funerals too. I told you guys she'd come in. Thank you. Yeah, I told you guys my mom would come in. She loves that piece. So I was like clockwork. I'm like, when's she gonna come in here? And also, if you hear something snoring in the background, I apologize. That's my pit bull Jada. She's right next to me, and she snores really loud. So, but she really likes music too. How about a concerto? Oh man, I would love to play a concerto. I don't feel like I would do it justice though without accompaniment. I think there's a musician in here. My boyfriend, he's logged in. He's a cellist. We actually play together sometimes. His name's Matt Kolczewski. I can't find him. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he can attest to this, that sometimes it's kind of weird to play a concerto unless you don't have the orchestra or a piano in the background to accompany you, because there's usually a lot of pauses and stuff. But hey, maybe we can do that next time, Rabbi. We could like get a whole thing together.
In Prescott though, or in New York?
Both.
Because I know that to do 2 instruments and 2 different Zoom threads is not necessarily.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay.
You never know. You guys should try it out and let us know.
Yeah, my string quartet, we're gonna do some kind of live stream something with Zoom, and we'll see how that goes. I think
let us know. We would totally.
Okay. So what should I play next? What did I say?
Go back to another Jewish one and alternate.
Cool. Okay, let's do oh, I'll do Oseh Shalom. I know there's a lot of versions of this, so maybe I'll try and put both in because I like both of I like these 2 are my favorites. I love the silent applause. That's great. Thank you. Okay, I'm looking at the chat.
So I'm going to give you one little tech tip if you want to try this, because the only thing I've seen on the chat is people saying the mic goes in and out for a sec.
Oh,
But I know what it is. So right to the right of your microphone, there's a little arrow. Click audio settings, and then automatically adjust volume. Uncheck that because it takes Zoom a second or two to grab the right volume. Do you see that?
Is it audio settings?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the middle of that white box that popped up, it says automatically adjust volume.
Ah,
Uncheck it. I think that will do the trick for her.
okay.
If not, we'll recheck it. We all hear clearly, but that might be just a slight adjustment happening.
Yeah, that's good to know because I've noticed that when I'm on calls sometimes. Okay. Hopefully that helps it. Okay. Let's see here. So a favorite of mine to play actually in the duo that I play in, Matt and I play this a lot together. It's Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. And we, living in New York City, we just pretty much play anywhere. We do a lot of corporate events, weddings, pretty much any format, orchestras. And then for fun, we like to go in the subways and busk and put our cases out and play. And this one, Matt can attest to, this is always the moneymaker. We always get a lot of people stopping for this song and they'll listen, and we'll just rotate it like every 15 minutes. And people really like our arrangement. So this is the less melodic version without the cello, just me.
Awesome.
Thank you. Is there any requests? Oh, Brahms or Strauss. Oh man. I guess I could do like a Brahms lullaby or something. There's always that. Yeah, there's that Brahms and those other ones that's like a lot of layers. I could play a Brahms lullaby. I don't know if that's I don't know if that would have the same effect.
Might put everyone to sleep.
Yeah, I want to keep you guys awake. You can rest at sundown. Someone has entered the waiting room. Do you want me to admit them?
I got that.
Okay.
I'll take care of this. I do that so no one Zoom bombs.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Any other requests?
Well, maybe teach us the difference between hip hop, or you said modern violin, and the classic.
So yeah, so huge popular thing nowadays is violin or just string instrument musicians are covering songs of today and past songs on their instruments. And so for us, it's really fun because there's nothing quite as difficult as classical music. And I don't know if there's any other musicians in the audience here, but it's once you learn classical, yay, okay, there's a musician. Yeah, once you learn classical, there's kind of like, it just puts your brain in this threshold of like any other melody just sounds super easy. And so some, especially for weddings, like if we get requested to play something, it's a pretty easy request. Just like when you think about Beatles or anything, those melodies are actually really they're really pretty and they're simple and they're easy, so it's really easy to cover on a stringed instrument. So if you can look at who's the person you said, Mari Ben, what was her last name?
Miri Ben-Ari.
Miri Ben. Oh yes. So she is for a while a hip hop violinist. She was on like the at the Apollo Theater, and she was playing to like a backtrack, like a hip hop beat, and she was just shredding on the violin. It's really cool. And so string players have really gotten a lot more diverse and versatile with our craft. We're not just classical musicians anymore. I would say most of us are still, we start classically trained, and it's very fun. And a lot of us try and keep playing classical music because it keeps our chops up. And yes, so that would be the difference, I would say. And you can look at, there's people, I get a lot of my students in the past, they really liked watching this girl named Lindsay Sterling. She like dances and plays violin at the same time. And there's like a whole bunch of groups out there. Vitamin String Quartet is a really popular music group that covers just pretty much any present day song on their instruments. It's really beautiful. Memories from Cats. Oh my gosh. Matt, do you have the sheet music for this? Can you send it to me? He's shaking his head no. Okay. I don't think I have it. Matt, nod your head. Do we have Memories or no? Oh, he says 1 second. Okay. Yeah, Matt and I pretty much share our database of music, and I will, whoever, Steve requested Memories from Cats. I'm gonna look up in my iPad, and if not, I'll find it, because that is also really pretty. Any questions while I'm multitasking to find Memories from Cats?
How much do you make in the subway? More than, that's what everyone wants to know. How well do these performers do?
It depends. So Matt and I have gotten pretty good at knowing which subways to go to and what time. Mondays aren't really good because everyone's like, oh darn it, I just spent all of my money on the weekend. So we do the best on like a Friday or a Saturday. And we have, I think I could be wrong, but I think the most we ever made was like 170 or 180 playing for like a few hours. And then we just, what Matt and I do is we just split it, and then we go and get food and go and get dinner somewhere in the city. Yeah, it's not really like our like bill money or anything. It's just more for fun, and then we go out and have dinner with it.
Cool. So you had a question?
Yeah, I was wondering if she would like to play something for Shabbat.
Give her a song.
How about the Mishabera?
Do you know that? I think it's Debbie Friedman, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, see, this is the thing about when I left for home, I left all of my sheet music. But you know, it's funny. I think Matt has my book of all of my sheet music, so maybe Matt could play it. Let me see here.
Matt, can you play it?
Is it in my storage? Where is it, Matt? It's not an iPad. It's like a book. I have like a book of like, it's all my like Jewish sheet music. Yeah, okay. It's in my storage. Okay. So how do you spell that? I'll try and look it up and then I can just read the melody.
Probably Mishe, B as in boy, ERACH.
Okay, I see. Here we go.
Or the one to welcome the Sabbath bride.
I do like Shalom Aleichem.
I forgot the name of that one.
I think you said it. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem.
Oh, that's good too.
Okay, I'll play this one first and then it's okay. Sorry, it's really small. So I'm not furrowing my eyebrows at you guys. I'm trying to read this music. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Oh, whew, I was able to fulfill a request. That's like my worst nightmare when I and I'm like, oh, I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
Can I mention one thing? When you're facing forward, it's much easier to hear you. When you're in profile, you kind of fade in and out. It may be that you're closer to the mic this way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So maybe should I like lean forward when I play violin?
And if you'd like to play Gypsy Airs, Fritz Kreisler's Gypsy Airs, it's a kind of advice, and that would be great.
Oh, I have all of Fritz Kreisler's work in New York. So
We have to tell you that we're from New York.
oh wow, okay.
He grew up in Bronx and I grew up in Manhattan, so we're very familiar with the subways and everything.
Excuse me, let her play.
Let her play, right?
They didn't want to listen to what we're.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I love meeting people from New York. It's very rare to come across someone in the city that's actually from there. So thank you for sharing that. I do appreciate it. Oh.
So I say you just choose a couple songs. I know you have a couple of the Cats, the memories from Cats, and if you had other ones, this way you'll just free flow.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna enjoy whichever you choose.
I know. I'm such a perfectionist. I like freak myself out. Okay. I'm looking up. Okay, so this memory. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's okay, that's clarinet music. That won't work. Sorry. I thought I had it. Okay. Looking. Okay, I think I can do this probably just off the top of my head. I just really don't want to butcher it. I'm afraid to butcher it. Okay. Memory from Cats. Here we go. I'm gonna try. Okay. So I have about one page of music and then I'm just gonna try and ad lib and then I might stop. So I apologize if it's not the entire song. Okay. there's another part to that. I'm so sorry I don't have it. Okay. Oh, thank you. Right. Okay, let me just exit out of this because now I'm getting like 18 browsers here. I'm trying to remember. There was like one that we talked about that I said I would do, and then it was a Jewish. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. All right, I'll do that one. Again, just I guess as you guys know, depending on whatever Shabbat you're going to, everyone kind of has their favorite melody that they stick with. This one's mine. I sing it to myself every Friday. I'm sure Matt's heard me around the apartment in New York going Shalom Aleichem. Well, it's my favorite melody. It's actually, yeah, I think, yeah, definitely you've heard me sing this around. So here's this one. Thank you. I hope you guys sang along with me while I played.
I have a question that somebody is asking me. They're asking me privately, but I'm going to ask them to you.
Okay.
So she's not musical. She loves to listen. Can you explain the parts of the violin? What makes the different sounds? How you manipulate these sounds? Why is a Stradivarius so valuable? And basically, why do different violins sound different? Is it the instrument or the musician? So it's a lot of questions.
Okay. Yeah. So I might have to ask you to like do
I'll do that. And then afterwards, if you want to do something from Fiddler on the Roof, that was another request that someone put on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll play a little bit of. Do you want me to play that now and then talk about the violin?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, let's see here. I was able to find a really cool arrangement. I'm not going to play it just because it doesn't. It doesn't really sound like it without the piano. But someday, live streaming. Hopefully, when I'm in New York, I will get a pianist and I'll play this for you guys. With this is just the main melody of. Into everyone singing.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Okay, thank you. So parts of the violin, we have the bow, and this is actually when I'm teaching instruments, this is students can never wait to play with the bow. This is usually typically out of horsehair, but if you have like a cheaper bow, it could be something else. From a very young age, you're told to not touch this part with your fingers because there's oils in our hands that can damage the horsehair. So as you can see, I desperately need a bow rehair because I have a lot of dirt down there. But you know, I'll get there. And it needs rosin. So in order to make the sound to get friction on the string, if this didn't have, actually, I have a spare bow here that I don't think I've rosined in a very long time. And you can hear kind of the difference without, like, you can't really, it's barely, I really have to press to get a sound from this, as opposed to my other bow that I've been using, and I rosin it daily and I'm always using it. And I don't really have to press that much for it to work. So rosining the bow with, everyone has their preference of kind, if it's dark or light. The darker ones tend to be a little more like sticky. And then some say that lighter ones make it sound brighter. I don't know necessarily how much into it, but mine, I use dark because I kind of favor the warmer sound. And I guess I like having a darker sound. So then as far as the instruments go, mine is not a Stradivari violin. I think I'd be in a much different place if I had a Stradivarius violin. This is a German violin, so German violins are known to have actually a darker sound. And I've had this violin since I think I was like 12 or 13. I can't remember when I graduated to a full size. This particular one was made in 1911, so it's a he. I named him William. William is, I don't know, what is that? 109, I think he is. Yeah, he's pretty old. So a lot of people put a humidifier in their cases because musicians' instruments are really prone to cracking, seams opening up, and that can be really devastating. I know Matt's cello had an open seam a few times, and it's like kind of the worst thing that can happen. As far as how we manipulate the sound, all we're doing here is when you play the violin, when you're putting a finger down, there's this spot right here, and that's sorry, I'm not really explaining this very well, but when you just have open strings, there's nothing changing the sound. When you put your finger down, you're actually making this part here, which is the nut of the instrument, you're making that closer. And so every time you're putting a finger down somewhere, you're just changing the length that frequency of sound or the wave goes to make that particular pitch. So when you hear my shoulder rest came off. So the more fingers you put down, the higher in pitch it goes. So we go up the stairs in sound every single time you put a finger down. So when you get all the way up here, you're really shortening the frequency that the pitch has to go back. I don't really know how the physics of it. I'm not good with the terms, but as the more fingers you add and the higher you go, the higher the sound goes. And so sometimes you see, if you saw, I don't know if you could see from the video, but my hand sometimes wiggles. And that's when you hear a singer going, la, when they do that with their voice, that's all I'm doing with my hand. So when you're training a student to play violin, you actually don't, or me at least, I typically don't show with vibrato because then all they want to do is do that too, and then they don't really get the foundation of like where the note is really supposed to be, because you're kind of changing the pitch of the sound quicker, and that's vibrato slowed down. So all you're doing is changing the pitch really fast to make that kind of vibrato sound. As far as the bow, this is actually, I think, the hardest part of playing a stringed instrument is the bow. People think, the flashy stuff is here. That comes a lot quicker than bow control and being able to manage your bow. That's probably something as classical musicians we look at. We're always looking at someone's bow, their bow hold, how they control it, and what kind of sounds and colors they can make from just the bow. I don't know if I answered all the questions. Did I answer all of them?
I think so. Why is the Stradivarius so much better, though? You didn't answer that.
Oh, yeah. So with Stradivari violins, that was so Antonio Stradivarius, he was the maker of the famous violin, and there were two other makers, Amati and Guarneri, that were really up there too. And Amati was more of like the brighter sounding instruments, and then Guarneri was more favoring the darker sounds. Stradivari became very popular because he somehow was able to get the wood he built it with whatever wood he used. I'm not sure. He was able to get like the brightest and like richest, darkest sound as well into one instrument. Not that the other two makers couldn't, but he just had perfected it. So that's why his kind of just skyrocketed and became so famous. If you do have a Guarneri or an Amati, those are also very, very expensive. So not to say that those are not nice violins, because those are also some of the nicest violins you can get. But that's why people like Stradivarius so much, is because he kind of just perfected it. And yeah, in that little town of Cremona, Italy, that's where Guarneri, Amati, and Stradivari, they all came from that little town making violins and string instruments.
Cool. Thank you. Do you want to end off with one song that you really like?
Oh my gosh. I want to put on the spot. It's like, I know I love so many songs, and now I'm like, what do I want to play? I really like playing Hallelujah, so I played that for you guys. Matt, help me out. Put something in the chat. Matt, help me out. I can't think. Oh, I'm reading the comments. Oh, my friend Sasha's here. The cellist that I'm in a quartet with, she is here. Hi, Sasha. We did that. Oh my gosh, Matt, I'm not playing the Law and Order SVU theme song. Oh my gosh.
Although I watched that and loved it. Does it require 2 instruments?
Yeah, actually, Matt made the arrangement of that one, and it's very equal parted. Sasha, if you have any, I'm so bad when I'm put on the spot. Sasha, if you have any suggestions, like a last song for me to play, let me know.
Or maybe just take one from, I know that people really liked your Fiddler on the Roof one, if you have another one from there. Unless you want to just go with Beatles.
Oh yeah, okay. I could, let's see. I will play. Okay. Oh, this, yeah, okay. Make sure I have the right bow. Now they both, because they both look the same. Okay, this is the good bow. Okay. You guys are so nice. I know you're like the best audience. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Thank you. That was Imagine by the Beatles. One of my favorite songs by them.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all of your time, your talent. I know everyone loved it. I'm seeing all the comments as well.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry I get so nervous with public speaking.
Oh, you don't have to. Next time you won't have to talk. We'll just give you a list, and you do it with Matt, because it seems like sometimes you guys are together in this traveling across different spaces during this time. But we would love to have you back. We'll have to talk later.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to come back.
I have one question.
Sure.
Do you do better playing at the IND or the IRT?
The what?
On the subway.
So you do better at IRT or independent line?
Well, our favorite station is 14th Street. We go in that tunnel in between 6th and 7th
Yeah.
Avenue.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good moneymaker for us, and Bryant Park.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
How,
Sure.
how about the Port Authority area?
It gets kind of a
Yeah, grubby.
yeah, that's a really good word. Yeah.
Borough Hall, you should try Borough Hall in Brooklyn.
Oh, we've talked about how we should go to. We have never busked in Brooklyn.
You should go to Lincoln Center and play in the subway on 72nd Street.
Oh, that's a good thought.
Right by the Lincoln Center.
I know you can't play. I know you can't play at near Lincoln Center outside because I did a wedding proposal once and I got in trouble for playing my
Yeah, but
violin.
72nd Street is a big crosstown. Make money.
I will. That's a good area to try and get some extra cash too.
Yeah. You're beautiful to look at too.
Oh, thank you. I comb my hair today.
I comb mine, but nobody can tell.
I can.
Tiffany, everyone here is saying that you speak fine.
Oh, thank you.
You don't have to worry about public speaking.
Okay.
Take
Well.
those compliments and the boost.
Thank you.